Welcome to another episode of the Adultish Podcast. You can like, listen, comment, share, and subscribe to Adultish on most streaming platforms. You can also find Adultish on Twitter at AdultishP0DCAST. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand spanking new episode of the Adultish Podcast. As always, it is your host, Afiya, and I have some good news and some not so good news for you all. Here's the not so good. Unfortunately, myself and my favorite co-host, Mr. Vincent Bernard, have been unable this week to sit down and record some new content for you all. As it stands, our schedules have been getting really busy, really hectic, and we are working on bettering that for you all. Unfortunately, the fall is just bringing a lot of shit for the two of us with our work schedules, and so we haven't been able to just sit down and hop behind the mic and just really churn out some of these conversations that you guys love listening to. However, I do have a solution to that, which is the good news. I will be dropping an episode this week, and it is the episode that you're listening to right now, which is a pre-recorded conversation between myself and Mr. Roblematic. Yay! It seems that you guys are positively reacting to the conversations that he and I have here on this podcast. And so with this conversation that you're about to hear, we talk about the idea of settling for the person that you're with, bringing that significant other around others in your life, either your friends or your family. And then last but not least, we get into that dreaded combo around jealousy, right? What it means to be jealous. Are you an envious person? And how does it manifest for you? Or is it it's only something that happens when you are with another person, or is it something that happens when you just like someone else? And of course, in the middle of us talking about these various subjects, we do have random topics and conversations that pop up in between, which just makes this for a really colorful episode that you're about to listen to. So without further ado, I'm going to have you guys listen to myself and Mr. Roblematic, and I will hit you back once we're done.
Always happens, by the way. Like you always, like no one ever, and no one would ever say this, even though it's true for pretty much everybody. No one ever ends up with their first choice. So, you know what I mean? Like you take that L, and then you think about that L, and while you're thinking about that L, somebody comes along, and you'd be like, "Yo, I'm still thinking about the L," and that person is just there, being all nice and good. And you still think about that L. And then you're like, oh, and then you finally look at them like, oh, you're not that bad, I guess. Mm-hmm. But you ain't the dream. Mm. You know what I mean? Like you wasn't that.
Always the Angela. Yeah. Never the Jacqueline.
Yeah, and some people, look, even though, being Angela is pretty good. He came back to her on his own free will. Mm. He didn't settle for Angela. He actually deaded Jacqueline.
Yes, he did.
So that's different. I know a whole bunch of settlers. I know a whole bunch of pilgrims. Yes. I know most of my friends are pilgrims.
They're not Vikings, they're pilgrims.
Yeah, they're not Vikings. They're not conquerors. They're settlers. They got a lot of Sacagaweas and Pocahontas. But yeah, people will just be settling, and then you just, it's like if you're in a situation or whatever the fuck people do when they're not officially boyfriend and girlfriend, which is a big thing, because unless you say it, it ain't it.
No,
and everybody knows that.
Yes,
and that's why it's a big deal. And dudes like to pretend like they don't get it. Like, I don't know why you know exactly why. You know exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah, but if you're not officially somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend, then y'all ain't shit. But most people are in that, and when you in that, everything gets kind of confusing. It's like, well, if I'm not this, then why are we doing this? And why can't I be this? And then a lot of people end up settling because they be like, look, the worst thing that he does to me is not claim me. I guess, which is bad, but how bad is it? You know what I mean? And so then people just be like, oh, I'm just gonna stick around, and that should be working for people. It just don't work for everybody.
Very sure.
So, just be there. So I know a lot of dudes who just ended up with the woman they ended up with the woman who was there when they finally got tired. So they'd be like, it ain't the one. They know it ain't the one. She knows she ain't the one. But you're just tired. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have a whole bunch of girls no more. And who's left? Who's still here? I'm like, right. Oh, and then they reward that loyalty. And that used to be a cool thing. It used to be a thing like people, like women would aspire to. Like, oh, I want to be a ride or die and shit. That used to be like a cool thing. But now I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'm not waiting for you to want me, motherfucker.
Right.
Which is good, but it wasn't always like that. It was like people took pride in just being there, and she was just there with me, when I was at the bottom, and now, I'm still at the bottom, but
she there.
But she's still here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna make an honest woman out of her. Do the right thing. Put a ring on it, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people in those relationships. So, what's funny about relationships that I don't think people ever say?
What?
Relationships are hard.
No, people say that.
No. People say it when they're taking an L. People never say it while they're in it. Like everybody's looking for somebody, whatever, whether they say it or not, right? But nobody ever says, yo, I know for a fact it's going to be mad hard, and I just want to put that work in. So nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to do the fun shit, like the first 3 months, 4 months. Like, that shit is easy. Like, liking somebody who likes you, what feels better than that? Like, that's the best feeling in the world. Like, liking somebody, and then they like you back, and then y'all get to fucking do that together for a little bit. And that part is fun. But then everything after that is putting the work in. And it's like, how much do you want to compromise, and how much do you want with that person? And you got to do a lot of shit they want you to do, and you got to do a lot of shit he want. Like, people got to do stuff, and everybody don't want to do things. And coming out of your selfishness is hard. So it's like, I don't want to. You got to do all of that shit. Or you can not do that. Like, it's easy to be like being a shitty boyfriend to me is the easiest thing in the world. Because all you got to do is just be yourself.
Yeah.
And then, she'll take selfies that you didn't want to be in. And, you see the boyfriend face. Which, my favorite pictures is like the girl is always cheesing. And the dude is just looking at the camera like, yeah, I have to do this. It's mad hostage
situation.
Yeah, it's like, I have to. Yeah, we got to take these. But if you come to my gram, you ain't got to see none of this bullshit. I promise. It won't be none of this bullshit. My SoundCloud is there. Please click on that. I do have bars.
Your SoundCloud is there.
But you gotta want it. You gotta want it. It's hard because sometimes it'd be like people will be comfortable in whatever they got going on, but then their friends will fuck the shit up. Like it's so hard for a woman to just, you can't really tell your friends you just good and you just chilling. Like, no, we good. And they want to know what's going on and what y'all about to do. Like, I don't know what the fuck we about to do. We ain't doing shit. I'm just happy. I like him. He likes me. I see him. We see each other every day of the year. We don't see each other all the time. Maybe I want more, but I'm fine. But you can't tell that to your fucking friends.
No.
They're like, no, you gotta be on the gram. Like, how come he don't want to claim you in public? And how come he don't want to do the stuff I read about people doing? I mean, I don't have no one doing that for me, but I'm saying you need that, or fuck him. And you gotta deal with that too. And everybody's not equipped for peer pressure. You can't have your friends thinking that somebody's taking advantage of you.
Right.
Even if you don't care. Now you gotta care now.
Now you gotta care.
Gotta put up that front that you do care.
Are you like a hating friend? Do you hate on your friends'
No.
poos? You never hated on none of them?
One of my friends, I never met her boyfriend. Never met him.
But you heard about him.
Heard about him. Never met him. And he sounded like a cool dude. Never met him.
Aren't they all cool?
Hmm?
Can y'all stop doing? Don't do this, Fifi. Promise me you won't do this when you get a new man. Don't tell your friends that he's smart and funny.
No. The generic one-two punch.
It's so generic, but it's also an insult to smart
and funny people
or funny people.
Yeah.
I never met a girl who didn't think her man was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I meet the motherfucker and he's a corpse. I'm like, this nigga is fucking Gomez Adams.
Well, the thing
and
is,
you told me he was smart and funny. He don't know shit. He ain't funny. He's just here.
Well, the thing is, for me, I guess,
Was your husband smart and funny?
He was funny. I wouldn't say he was goofy.
Yeah, you like goofy.
He was goofy. Yeah, he was goofy. He was a nerd. Like and not nerdy in the sense that like he was book smart
he was
nerdy.
Your type of nerd. You like nerds.
But he was like nerdy. He was like into comic books. He, watched a lot of like early cartoons,
anime,
like 80s, 90s cartoons. So he was goofy. I wouldn't say he was like funny, but he was goofy. He was definitely funny. He was definitely goofy.
You like goofy though.
I like
no?
goofy. I love.
I'm about to say you like goofy,
I like goofy.
And you like nerds.
I love funny. I love nerds. I love smart. Like
that's
what I'm saying. Like
I didn't know about the smart part. I can't just get on with all that. With that.
No, like that's what I was saying when you were saying like don't tell people that your man is smart and funny. Like I genuinely only like smart and funny. When
your friends, you know how your friends ask you the first thing, and you had to like you want to build. You never said smart and funny. You just said what? You just gave funny.
I would give.
Why are people so liberal with funny? Am I too sensitive about that? Like,
I think so. I think you're sensitive about funny.
Why is it such a liberal
But the thing
thing?
is that think about it this way. So that's what I'm saying. Like for me, in my vein, in my lane, if all I like is funny, like I don't like people who aren't better choice of words. I won't say funny. I'll say they have a good sense of humor or they have a sardonic sense of humor, which is my favorite type of humor. So I would say something like that.
But both of those are better than funny though.
That's what I'm saying. So I would say things like, oh, is he funny? He has a really good sense of humor. Or I love his sense of humor. Or he's he's super sardonic. He's like super dark sense of humor. And that's what I like. So that's what's good for me.
Those are very, so much more dope.
Specific. So those are things that I would say. I wouldn't say smart and funny. I would say really good sense of humor. I'd say intelligent. And I would break down the intelligent. I'd be like, oh, either they're really book smart or like, my favorite things to say is like they're creative, they're artistic.
My favorite thing is to say that she's autistic.
You ain't shit. So I was like, they're really creative, they're smart, they're like, I wouldn't even say smart, I would say like they're intelligent, like they're book smart, like they know what was something that I'm big on people just knowing facts about shit that like other people don't readily know.
Are all the misogynists gonna get mad when they make like a female Forrest Gump, like they did with Ghostbusters? Like
they probably will, but those are the things I say. Like I try to be as specific.
You don't
as possible.
say any of that.
I do.
I don't believe you. No one even asks you. No one bothers you.
You don't have to.
So you say he has
my two friends who talk to me.
You say he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I'd rather say that than funny. I say, oh my god, he's like a super, like I love his sense of humor. I would say I love his sense of humor because not everyone's gonna love it, or not everyone's gonna like it, but I do. So I love his sense of humor.
No, that's good. I like when people start making excuses off the rip, like about this, the significant other. They already start apologizing. They be like,
because I know
he's kind of loud, but I love him. Like they just warn you.
But I like the way his voice sounds when he yells, because I guess for me personally, like I work from a space of understanding